Hello everyone, this is teacher Rebecca F. from Rebecca F. Online Teaching on YouTube, and I'm here to talk to you about teaching with a newborn. A lot of people have asked this question, and I'm really sad that I did not chronicleize and talk about my process while pregnant and teaching with VIPKID as well as afterwards. So I'm going to condense everything down to like a few minutes and we'll see what happens. But if I was smart enough, I would do like a day by day, week by week of what I did. So first off, found out I was pregnant. And I had some of the morning sickness. It's kind of like hang tight. Everybody's different. Every body is different. Every baby is different. Every pregnancy is different. So it works for one person, might not work for another person. But for me, I knew I could not teach on an empty stomach. It made me sick. So I made sure I had a little bit of something to eat in the morning, a piece of bread, some crackers, whatever it was, if it wasn't too heavy, just kind of enough to give me energy to get going. And I really pushed it during my pregnancy. Like I taught a lot of classes because I knew I wanted to take some time off after the baby was born. And we relied on the VIPKID paycheck as our main source of income at the time. So there's no maternity leave with VIPKID. There's no like paid time off. Since you're an independent contractor, anything you work, you get paid for it. When you don't work, you don't get paid. So we wanted to save aside a bunch for our maternity leave. So we worked, I worked extra hard. I had a couple more classes in the evenings, on the weekends, in the mornings if I could. And every paycheck we saved a big chunk aside, like, I don't know, a couple $100. If I say $500 or whatever it was, we just go whoop, save into a savings account. I wanted enough that I could last 2 months with either no working or part-time working. Okay, at the time of being pregnant, I worked 50 classes a week. So I knew when I came back, I might only work 20 classes a week because sleep schedule, I wouldn't be able to work a 4-hour chunk every morning like I was. Because babies, newborns do not sleep for 4 hours straight. Some do, some don't. So I just like, I don't want to be, you know, over eager and then have a screaming baby. So I saved a lot of money during my pregnancy. Especially the second and third trimester when I was feeling really good. I'm like, let's do this. And yeah, lots of sleep and it was hard, but I knew that I needed to push through. Okay, so the last month of pregnancy, I went to short notice only. Actually, I was lucky enough to do short notice for a lot longer in the pregnancy, but especially the last month, I suggest you try to go to short notice only. That way, if you have to cancel some classes for when you're in the hospital, you can say cancel and they're forgiven, or you just don't have anything opened. And I told my regulars that, hey, I'm going to take some time off when baby's born in late September. So when I come back, I'll come back slowly. So I hope to see you afterwards. And afterwards, they were excited to see pictures on my phone of my baby. So it was good. But if you can't do short notice only and you do need to book out, you can submit your hospital documentation for a soft cancellation. So make sure you have your exit paperwork and just scan it in, or you have 30 days to submit it. And then it can be a soft cancellation for the 2 weeks that you booked out. I didn't want to have 2 weeks booked out and take away from other people. So I just went to short notice only. Okay, so then she was born. And since I was just doing short notice, I went into labor after teaching classes for that day. And I labored all day and then all night. And she was born like at midnight. Well, I had already opened up for the next day short notice. And I got a trial. So I just canceled that one, sent in my documentation, and I was good to go. Now, I had saved up enough money that I was going to take 2 weeks off completely, like do nothing, no teaching at all. I didn't even want to think about it for at least 2 weeks. If you can do more, I would say do more. Save more money or rely on other income so that you can take off more time so your body's not like being pushed, okay? So near the end of those 2 weeks, I started trying to track my baby's sleep schedule. She was just transitioning from days to nights and trying to figure out, you know, her circadian rhythm. So I kind of saw, okay, if I can nurse her like at bedtime and do another one like at 11 o'clock, and she'll wake up about 3 or 4. I'll make sure I nurse her then. Then I could probably do like an hour of teaching, and then she can wake up again. So I kind of had to plan when she was going to nurse or need a bottle or whatever you need to do to feed a newborn, and then when I was going to teach. Now I knew that I only got like 2 chunks of sleep a night before like bedtime and her middle of the night nursing, and then her nursing, and then the morning. And I was going to teach during that second half. I'm like, oh, do I have to? Well, we didn't save enough to go completely off for a long time. So I would just open up an hour at a time, short notice for the next day. And if it booked, it booked. If it didn't, it didn't. And then I did an hour and a half. Then I did 2 hours. So I really kept it short. And I made sure that if she did not wake up right before I taught, I snuck into her room and I dream fed her. I wanted her tummy to be full enough that she would sleep the second half so that I could teach. So you kind of have to kind of play with it a little bit to see what works. Sometimes the babies can take a bottle from your partner, and then like my husband could go in there and feed her if she wakes up. My baby didn't want to do that. She did not want to take a bottle at all. So it was all on me. And sometimes even daddy was not good enough to comfort her. Like she just wanted mommy. You know, some babies just do that. They just want mommy. They just want the milk and that's it. So sometimes she had to cry a little bit and sometimes she calmed down. As they get older, like 12 months old, you can start putting some toys near the bed. I have some baskets roped on and hanging on inside her bed filled with toys. So if she wakes up early, she can do a little playing and kind of occupy herself a little bit. But so far, she's been doing good. She's 18 months old, and we've been training her to sleep time through the night. She did get used to that dream feeding at 4 a.m., so that's been really hard to break her of that. With my first daughter, I started VIPKID when she was already 4 months old, and she was one of those wonderful kids who slept through the night from the beginning. So I didn't have to worry about going in there and feeding her and then hopefully she'll sleep the second half. Nope, she was just 12 hours straight from the go. But most babies aren't like that. So you have to just play around and see what works for you, what works for your baby, but start slow. So save up money for a maternity leave. Start slow when you come back. Only open an hour at a time and then put like a gap in between so you can go and run and nurse them or take care of them and then do another hour. So slowly work into your schedule until you can finally open up what you want to open up. Okay? I hope it goes well for you. I hope your pregnancy and your newborn stage is a wonderful time, but take care of yourself, take care of your body, know your limits, and don't overschedule. Find some other ways to supplement income if you really can't get your body to wake up so early. You got this, okay? Baby needs you.